Right, hello everyone, this is a quick File Explorer overview, basically going over everything to do with this little icon down here and how it is used. So let's get into it and let's explain what you're looking at and how to use it. Alright, so it might look quite similar to your home desktop PC, but one of the things that you get while studying here at the college, and you can use this on every machine in the college, so you don't have to be working in the media and film department. You can be on the LRC Lower Bagnall, White House building, might be over in graphics. As long as you're on a desktop PC, this is what you'll be able to utilize, alright? So one of the things that you will all have is this thing called a user area or a U drive, okay? It can be seen here or down here. They are the same thing, just a different shortcut. And as you can see, you have 50 gigabytes of storage. That is quite a lot, alright? And if you have a click on it, yours might seem quite empty, but it is essentially your like USB stick that lives in the college server, all right? So any computer you go to, say for example, you've got a lesson in Media 2, doing some media studies, and you're working on some Photoshop stuff, then you've got a CTech lesson, and you're doing some short film in Media 1. This interface and this user area will always be there, okay? So what we recommend as staff is if you've gone and done a shoot in the studio or externally, bring that SD card in, plug it into the computer, make a folder on your user area. Let's call this, you know, CTech coursework. And just to show you, I made a folder by right clicking anywhere in the white and going new and folder, or you can click this little icon up here. What we recommend is making a folder for each course that you do. That might be graphics, might be photography, might be any of the courses up here. And then within that, maybe each project you're doing. So I can double click on CTech coursework. Maybe I'm doing my short film brief. Alright, so that can make a folder there. Then I might go on to maybe doing some VFX. Yeah? Obviously, you won't be making these all at once. Make them as you go. And then within each folder, what you can do, is, which is my personal advice, is making another new folder called footage. Alright? So what you can then have is any footage that you record for that short film. As you can see, if I was doing CTech, I can dump all of my footage from my SD card into that user area, into that footage folder, and then when I make a new project on, say, Premiere Pro or Photoshop, I can then save it just outside here, so it's all in one place. It's all nice and organized, it's all nice and cohesive, okay? One of the definite don'ts is please don't edit from your SD card, okay? Because they're small pieces of plastic and anything can happen, and if anything goes wrong with it, it's not backed up, okay? So make sure you take it from the SD card from the camera, pop it in the computer, the little icon will appear just here by this PC, or if you click here, it'll appear just here under a variety of names. Might be SD card, might be EOS, something, depending on what camera you put it into. And just copy that footage, all right, and paste it. So select it all, copy, right-click and copy, and then navigate to your user area, navigate to the project or course folder you're in, and then right click and paste it into there. All right, that way everything is nice and organized and you won't have anything called offline media. Okay, so if you load a project and it's moved or it's been renamed since you've loaded said Premiere Pro project, it might come up as offline or it doesn't know where it is, so you need to tell it so. Which reminds me, if you're ever going to rename footage, which we highly recommend you do, once you've taken it off your SD card and popped it into your footage folder, before you go ahead and use it in any editing software, we recommend that is the best time to go and rename it, whether that be photographs or video clips, okay? So that's our best advice with that one. That is basically the user area. It is your online USB stick that you can use at the college, okay? So you can't access it at home, so if you are prone to be doing some work at home, we recommend that you buy yourself an external hard drive or a USB stick. The sizes can range, maybe a 128 gig one might be pretty spot on. If you want to go even more extra, you might go up to a 1 terabyte hard drive, and they can range anywhere from about 15 to 50 pounds. But we have this user area in place, so you don't have to purchase that. But if you're lucky enough to have a setup at home, you could always do that as well. And then you would make this same folder system on that hard drive, okay? But that's completely down to you. All right, so anything you download as well, say for example you grab some fonts, it'll all appear in this downloads folder. Obviously I've got a load of stuff from making the newsletter from this week. I've got a few fonts in here that I've obviously moved over. That's a different video, so if you are looking to look into fonts, have a little look there. Anything that I've used, I've copied and moved to the relevant folder for it to be used. And then what I like to do every now and then is just go and clear out all my downloads folder. Please don't ever download some music or download something from Google Drive and then edit from your downloads folder. Please move move it to an appropriate folder, and then work with it, okay? Because this becomes a mess, especially when it's image 01, document 2021. I've copied them to where I wanted them to be, renamed them, and then gone ahead and used them. That way, my editing mind is nice and clear, and your life will be a lot easier, I promise you. All right, the last thing just to talk to you about, if you click on this PC, is you will have these network locations down here. You might not have as many as mine, because obviously I'm a member of staff, but you might have this thing called a media and film server. You will have this thing called a media and film server, all right? Now, if you click on that, you will have this thing called student resources. If you were to be submitting work as well, you might use final submissions, but that is a video for another day, all right? But you can go on to student resources, and you will find there is a bunch of stuff on there that you can use as well. Video effects and templates. There's 23,000 things in this audio folder, so you can search anything like siren, for example, hit enter, and I can assure you, there we are, police siren appears. I wouldn't recommend going through that whole audio folder and just trying to find it. I would go ahead and search the sound and see what you can find. They are all free to use. Copy them into your user area. As I said, this might be a perfect example, so to speak, stalling there. I can copy siren, go ahead to my user area, which is on quick access just here, navigate to my CTech coursework folder, and say I'm using that for short film. I can copy it just outside footage because that's an effect that I'm using, not in the footage that I've recorded myself. And that way it's all nice and easy. I can then drag that into my Premiere Pro project, and it's all in one place, all ready to go. All right. Now, the last bit of advice I can give you is every now and then, just so you've got a backup, please just go ahead and copy your folder, whichever one, say you've recorded a lot of footage, and back as much as you can up on Google Drive. Now, Google Drive is free to use whilst you're a student here. Obviously, sign in with your college ID, and those who are up here will be quite familiar with Google Drive, but you are more than welcome to do that. We as a department and we as an industry are very, very safe, and we want to ensure that that amazing footage that you have recorded is not lost, okay? And things do happen, and it's not your fault. You know, you might have it might rain one day and your SD card gets damaged, or, you know, heaven forbid, you drop your camera and things get damaged, or there is some issue with the college and there's a power outage and it corrupts the server. That's absolutely fine for you guys. You know why? Because you would have copied and backed up all of your footage and all of your projects onto Google Drive, okay? Which is what we do in industry. I have mine saved in 3 places: on my home computer, on my Google Drive, and on my hard drive. So that's 3 places that are nice and backed up. So if anything happens, offline and online, connected to the internet and not connected to the internet, I have a backup, all right? And that keeps me happy, because unfortunately, and I really wish you don't learn the hard way, something will happen to your footage one day and you'll have to learn the hard lesson when you have to go and reshoot all of it. And 9 times out of 10, it's not as good as the first time you shot it. But yeah, don't let that happen. Back it up. If you have any questions about how to use this File Explorer interface, do feel free to come and speak to us, all right? But just as a recap, your user area, which can be accessed via this PC, is essentially your personal hard drive or personal USB stick that lives in the college cloud, that you can access on any PC at college, but not at home, okay? So do bear that in mind. All right, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.